Bulldog Television Network presents College Football 82. Today's game is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Hertz Buy a Car. More people buy cars from Hertz than from anyone else in the world. And by Pepsi. Pepsi's got your taste for life. And by Levi Garrett Chewing Tobacco. Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky. It's the University of Georgia versus the University of Kentucky Wildcats. Hello again, everybody. This is Bill Hartman along with Butch Clifton. Kentucky, Georgia, an SEC clash. Georgia way up there, Kentucky struggling.
Well, Georgia's 6-0 coming in tonight, but they've been very inconsistent on their offense. Tonight, they'll be looking for more balance between their running and passing. Currently rushing for 250 yards a game, passing for 90. They need a better blend.
Now, Kentucky could have an awfully big season with a victory tonight.
Well, they're under the tutelage of Jerry Claiborne, the fine coach from Maryland that came in. They're under a new system. All week long, he's been selling his players on the fact they have an opportunity. The opportunity to defeat the #3 team in the nation. Big incentive for them, makes their season with a win.
All right, we will be back with the opening kickoff of tonight's game right after this.
This Bud's for everyone who's got the heart and courage to go the distance. Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
You can beat the $8,600 average price tag on a new car at your nearest Hertz used car sales location. 1981 Ford Escorts from only $44.99. 1981 Ford Fairmonts from only $45.99. Come in today and ask for your Bulldog discount. All cars come with the Hertz limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. All cars selected from the finest in the rental fleet. Call 800-654-3131 for your nearest Hertz sales location.
Go where you've never been before. Achieve Mitsubishi.
In the Starion, the all-new sports car with Mitsubishi's own turbocharger for blast-off acceleration and the wind-slicing flush surface body design. In the Cordia, the all-new sports coupe with front-wheel drive, a 4+4 transmission available, and a unique liquid crystal display of the Cordia LS.
Go where you've never been before. Achieve Mitsubishi.
In the Tredia, the all-new performance sedan with an MCA jet engine and room for 5.
Achieve Mitsubishi.
In the first turbo diesel pickup in America.
University of Georgia Football Highlights has been brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors.
Kentucky has won the toss and will receive. It'll be Terry Henry going back deep for the Wildcats along with George Adams. They will go back to receive the kickoff of Kevin Butler of Georgia and Butch Clifton. Kevin, of course, has a phenomenal record with kickoffs so far.
Well, so far this year, Bill, he's kicked off 30 times. 27 have not been returned. Only 3 have been returned. A great record. It means that Georgia's defensive team sets up the opposition 80 yards away from the goal line, and that's ideal field position for the defensive club.
Now, you just saw Adams back there. He's returned it, what, about 24 yards was his longest, averaging about 12 yards per kickoff return. Kevin Butler, 31 times. And, man, when you don't have any returns, that's what it's all about. Butler set to kick off here, Georgia, Kentucky, Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky. It's a cool night. Hardly any breeze on the field at this moment, but they say the winds do come. Georgia in its road uniform of the white jerseys and the silver breeches. We are ready. Butler getting the signal from the official. It is Henry and Adams back deep. And there's the kickoff. Butler kicks it in and out of the end zone again. Kentucky takes over. 1st and 10 at the 20. Butch, the Kentucky Wildcats run an offense similar to the University of Georgia.
Bill, primarily they're out of an I formation. They will split their backs, use 2 tight ends with a flanker, and sometimes they'll run out the bootleg series. They're learning a new system.
Martin's the quarterback. Abraham Adams backs in there. The offensive line you see there. As they bring him up to the line of scrimmage, Doug Martin is number 16, the quarterback. First play of the game, and he gives to Adams. George Adams on the first play from scrimmage, and he has picked up a first down, or close to it. They may have to take a look at it. Yes, they do. First down, Kentucky Wildcats.
Oh, they're strictly in an I formation. Adams is the deep back. He's a good 2 yards behind his fullback. Gets a good block up front, splits the seam and picks up 10 yards, and they get their initial first down.
Now they give it to Adams again, and he gets 3, maybe 4 yards before he's racked up by Kevin Jackson, leading the Georgia tacklers. But he picked up 3 yards on the play. It will be 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats. Georgia's defensive line, Carver, Gilbert, Jackson, Crow, Stan Dooley starting in place of Jimmy Payne, who is injured. 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats. They give it to Adams again. Adams up to the 39, maybe the 40-yard line. Thurston leading the Georgia tacklers, but Adams is close to another first down, going to be just a little bit short. He's looked good so far.
Once again, they're in the I formation. He gets a good block from Sean Donegan, number 40, and he spins through the line. Thurston brings him down, makes it 3rd down and a short 1.
Not enough for the first, and as you say, 3rd down and a short 1 yard to go. Adams and Donegan, now the running backs as they're in the power I. Adams, first down, Kentucky, 44-yard line. Thurston leading Georgia again, along with Nate Taylor. Kentucky comes out and is blowing Georgia's line off the line of scrimmage.
Adams is the number 9 rusher in the Southeastern Conference coming into this week's clash with Georgia. Currently 73 carries for 322 yards, an average of 4.4 per carry.
All right, Martin, the quarterback. Donegan, the fullback. Adams, the tailback, stuck at the line of scrimmage. Nate Taylor, number 47, in there first. Now watch Nate Taylor. He's number 47 there. He got help from Tim Crow on the play. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. No gain as he was met at the line of scrimmage. Kentucky at the Georgia 44-yard line. Martin looking to throw. And it is incomplete. Intended for Joe Phillips. Incomplete, brings up a 3rd down and 10. Going into the game, of course, Georgia's secondary leading the nation with interceptions, and number 14, Terry Hogue, leading everybody individually with 10 interceptions. That was Tony Flack, number 8, covering on the play for the Dogs. 3rd down and 10, Kentucky. Martin to pass, rush, got the screen over here at the 40-yard line is Donegan. Donegan, 40, 35, 30, Donegan, 20-yard line. He will go all the way for the touchdown. Sean Donegan has just gone 56 yards to score for Kentucky on the screen pass. Butch Clifton won.
Martin does a good job. He sets it up. Now he drifts. Georgia had a blitz coming with Terry Hogue. Good blocking out front. Donegan gets outside, utilized his blockers, and he got down to the point where Charlie Dean, number 18, was the last man between Donegan and the goal. He cut back. Another good block. Freddie Gilbert makes Lynn's chase and knocks him into the end zone. Touchdown for Kentucky.
Kentucky quickly out front. 12 minutes, 33 seconds left in the first quarter, and they bring in the extra point man, Caudell. Chris Caudell, number 1, puts it up, and he kicks it good. So, like lightning, the Cats have struck with 12 minutes, 33 seconds left first quarter. Donegan has put Kentucky on top. The score, Kentucky 7, Georgia nothing.
delicious. Let Long John Silver's put a smile on your taste.
Our shrimp and fish special is a treat that's worth the trip. 4 big shrimp and a crispy fish fillet. Complete.
Shrimply delicious.
Shrimp and fish special at a shrimply sensational price.
Let Long John Silver's put a smile on your taste. Shrimply delicious.
Georgia and Kentucky, Commonwealth Stadium, and Kentucky has scored first, and the Dogs will now get the kickoff as Kentucky went all the way, an 80-yard drive to score on the first series of the game.
And they looked sharp in their play selection. They came out and rushed for 2 quick first downs. Obvious 3rd down, 10 passing. Georgia came with the rush. Martin did a good job of setting up his screen to his left. And, of course, the wall was set up. And Donegan did an excellent job of running. He hasn't played much this year.
The scoring drive, 7 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes, 27 seconds is all it took. Donegan going all the way on that 56-yarder. Now Caudell to kick off. It is Keith Montgomery and Carney Norris back deep for Georgia. Caudell's kick is a little short, and Carney Norris takes it at the 5-yard line. Carney Norris stuck at the 15. He's still up. Norris out to the 26, 27, maybe the 28-yard line before he's knocked down.
Fine effort by Carney Norris to get the ball up the field as he's finally knocked down at the 25-yard line, Bill, but really broke a couple of blockers, a couple of tacklers, and then got outside and had a chance to go all the way with 1 more block.
Lastinger, the quarterback, they're starting Chris McCarthy at fullback. Walker at the tailback, Harris, Brown, Wisham, the others. Now Georgia 1st and 10. They mark the football at the 25-yard line. Handoff goes to McCarthy, the fullback, and he fumbles, and Kentucky may have recovered. Kentucky had recovered the football.
The play was blown dead at the 25. McCarthy had hit the ground prior to the fumble.
What a break for Georgia. Everyone in the stadium, including the people in the broadcast booth, thought that Kentucky had the football. Instead, McCarthy gets credit for a 6-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Close to the 31-yard line. Lastinger, McCarthy, and Walker, the Georgia backfield. Got Chuck Jones split out to this side. Lastinger looking. Now he throws incomplete, intended for McCarthy around the 34. Davy Lyons is covering on the play for Kentucky. That will bring up a 3rd down and 5 yards to go. 3rd and 5 with 11:38 left. Kentucky's defensive line. Lyons, Brooks, McVeigh, Martin, Jacobs, and Rowe. Third down. Georgia needing to get the first. Kentucky on top 7-0. Here's the pitch out to Walker. Herschel hit at the 30. Herschel goes to the 33 and will be way short of the first down.
An excellent job of gang tackling by Kentucky. They held him up, made him cut back inside. I think we'll pick it up on the replay. It's a quick toss outside, kick out block. Good play by number 18 for Kentucky. And then watch the swarming tacklers as they attack the ball with Herschel Walker.
Tom Petty, number 4, was one of the Wildcats leading the charge. Broadway back to punt on 4th down and 2 for the Bulldogs. Wildcats leading this game suddenly early, 7-0. Broadway, a knuckleball, and it hits on the 34-yard line and will be down at that point. Kentucky taking over, 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. 10 minutes, 47 seconds left in the first quarter. Not a capacity crowd here at Commonwealth Stadium, close to maybe 55,000 on a cold night in Lexington. 1st and 10, Cats. And it took them less than 3 minutes to score on that first drive. Now they've got it at the 34, 1st and 10. Martin is the quarterback, and he gives to Adams. Freddie Gilbert leading the tacklers as Adams is stopped after a 3-yard pickup. And 2nd down and 7.
And that time Kentucky had the 2 tight end situation with 1 flanker, and that gives them better blocking Adams feels good tonight. It's obvious. He feels like he can run the ball. He's a local youngster from Lexington, Kentucky.
2nd down and 6, they're calling it. They give the football to Adams. He's hit at the 42-yard line. Nate Taylor, number 47. You see Hogue, number 14, also in on the stop. And Georgia has stopped Kentucky at the 42-yard line. 3rd down and 3 for the Cats. Jerry Claiborne looking for his first victory as the Kentucky Wildcats head coach. 3rd down and 2 or 3, and they give to Adams. He's got the first down and more. May have been a fumble. They blew the ball down as Freddie Gilbert made the stop, but not before Adams picked up another Kentucky first down. Stan Dooley also in on the stop. He's number 50. Look for him in your picture on the replay. There he is.
Adams not to be denied as he continued his forward progress until he had reached the first down. The ball did squirt loose, but the play had been blown dead.
1st and 10 Kentucky. Martin back to pass. Martin looks at it. It's intercepted by Charlie Dean. Midfield, 40, 30. Knocked out of bounds is Charlie Dean by Doug Martin, the quarterback. And the Dogs have their first turnover. And Georgia will take over 1st and 10 in Kentucky territory at the 31.
Well, Martin's rolling to his right. He throws the ball on the run. It sails a little bit. And Georgia's defensive secondary leads the nation in interceptions with 25. Charlie Dean is filling in tonight for Harris, who has been injured. Comes up with a big play and moves the ball down to Kentucky's 31-yard line.
Interception number 26 now for the Bulldog defense. 9 minutes, 16 seconds left first quarter. They give to McCarthy, the fullback. McCarthy, 4 or 5 yards. He's stopped by McVeigh. Call it a 4-yard pickup by Chris McCarthy. 2nd down and 6. McCarthy starting in front of Barry Young, who ran the football well last week, but did not block as well as Coach Dooley would have liked. Chuck Jones in motion this side. Now they give to Walker. Marker's on the play as Herschel gets off across the 20. Marker on the play. Walker got plenty for the first down. Schroeder making the stop for Kentucky. But there will be a penalty on the play, and it appears to be against Georgia. Illegal procedure. Illegal procedure against Georgia.
And Walker had picked up 8 yards on the run, so that was Georgia's first down, and that penalty will nullify the initial first down by Georgia.
It'll bring up a 2nd down and 12 at the 33-yard line. Georgia getting the football after Charlie Dean intercepted. But Kentucky on top early in the game. Kentucky leading 7-0. You look at the I formation. Walker now in motion. Lastinger drops back. He looks for Walker, and he's got him at the 25 and the 22. Butch Clifton, a play that you and I talked about before the game we might see tonight.
Well, we'd heard rumors all week that Herschel Walker would be utilized more in the passing game, primarily because of his speed and the fact that everybody keys on him. But we look for Georgia to get him in motion, move him up in the slot, and a pro cheat is so often referred by the coaches, running deep, and to take him down the field like Alamo Matthews did against Fort Vanderbilt last week, where he drives into the linebacker and takes what they give.
Herschel has moved it to the 23-yard line. 3rd down and 2. Walker straight up. First down and more. Walker to the 17-yard line. And the man with a vertical leap can do it.
Well, once again, he exhibits his great athletic ability. This time he makes a quick leap, lands on balance. How he does it, I don't know, and then struggles forward for 5 or 6 yards and picks up the first down. Walker,
1980 got 131 yards, 81 got 129 against Kentucky. He's got a first down for the Dogs here. 7:23 left on the clock, first quarter. Walker with the pitch out. Walker inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Herschel Walker coming into this game needing a touchdown to become the sole leader among career touchdowns in the Southeastern Conference. He is tied with Charles Alexander with 42. Alexander, of course, the great back for LSU a couple of years ago.
And we can see Kentucky playing a very similar defense that Georgia plays. It's a 6-man front. It's referred to as a wide tackle 6.
2nd and 7. At the 13-yard line. Walker, not much for Walker.
Tackle is by Gabe Martin.
Schroeder and Martin making the stop. And it will bring up a 3rd down.
Gain of 1.
And about 5. 3rd, and let's call it 5 yards to go for Herschel and the Dogs. Look at the I formation with Lastinger at quarterback. Walker in motion again. Look out for the pass. And they throw it. It's intercepted. Kentucky has intercepted the football. Andy Malls, number 18, Andy Malls has intercepted for Kentucky deep in Wildcat territory. It'll be 1st and 10 Kentucky at the 6-yard line with just over 6 minutes left in the first quarter, and the Wildcats leading 7-0.
Wow. Some people think a ball player would be lost out of uniform. Don't you believe it. As long as I've got my Levi Garrett with me, I can handle any sport. I think Levi Garrett's the best tasting chewing tobacco I ever tried. And you'll be saying it too, every time you enjoy that great taste in loose leaf or plug. Whoa! So whether you're pitching a big game or landing big game, get the best tasting chewing tobacco I ever tried. Levi Garrett.
On PM Magazine Monday, we'll learn the secrets behind the huge success of that crazy comic strip cat Garfield. Hi, this is John Patrick. Join Virginia Gunn and me as we meet Garfield's creator, Jim Davis. Garfield, that cat who's charmed millions and allowed his face to appear on everything from stuffed dolls to coffee mugs. Then we're really going to have a blast as Ernie Wells shows us his bang-up job tearing down old buildings. One of the nation's premier building blasters on the next PM Magazine, Monday at 7:30 from beautiful Lake Tahoe, California.
Just over 6 minutes are left in the first quarter. Kentucky has the football after the interception. 1st and 10 at the 6. And they give it to Donegan. Markers on the play as Donegan carries the football. Freddie Gilbert leading the Georgia tacklers.
That will be a procedure call on Kentucky. The right side of the offensive line moved prematurely.
Illegal procedure against Kentucky.
Georgia thinking it over. It was a gain of a couple of yards.
Bill, Kentucky's had trouble this year scoring in the first quarter. Their touchdown pass to Donegan was the first touchdown in the first quarter this year.
Kentucky came out like lightning. All right, Georgia's going to take the penalty. Back the Cats to the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 13. Martin is the quarterback. 5 minutes, 50 seconds, first quarter. 1st and 13 from the 3, and the Georgia defense has come up with a big play right around the goal line. Let's see, it is not a safety. Not a safety, however, as the loss is back to the 1-yard line. Watch it again, Martin.
He's handing off back in the backfield. Georgia, good defensive pursuit on Lee as he tried to turn the corner. Dale Carver came up, made the initial contact, stopped him at the 1-yard line.
2nd down and 15. Kentucky backed up. They give to the fullback. The first man through, he gets a couple of yards.
But they're working for field position now just to try and get the ball out. If they pop it and get a 1st down, they'll take it. But right now they're working on position so they can give their punter, Calhoun, a little room to kick the ball.
Thurston and Kevin Jackson making the stop. That was Richard Abraham carrying the football. There you see him, number 45, right at the right of your screen. Choo-Choo Lee, number 28, is the back man in the eye. Abraham in front of him on a 3rd down and 12. They give it to Abraham. He knocks it out to about the 9-yard line. Jeff Sanchez coming up to make the stop from his safety position. It'll bring up a 4th down, and Kentucky will punt from its own end zone. Jimmy Harrell is gone back deep. Number 82 standing right about the 48-yard line. Paul Calhoun will try to kick it away under pressure, and he gets it away. Wobbly kick. Harrell takes it at the 43-yard line. Harrell to the 37, maybe the 36-yard line. A play that maybe earlier in the season he would have called for a fair catch.
Each game his confidence grows. He gets in position to catch the ball. He now has a feel on when to catch it, when to fair catch it, or when to catch it and run it up the field. Easy to see from the stands, but a very difficult play to make.
4 minutes and 6 seconds left first quarter. Kentucky leading Georgia 7-0. Now Barry Young has come in at fullback for Georgia.
Georgia's got 2 tight ends in the game.
Walker in motion, look for the swing pass. No, they give it to Young, the fullback. Young across the 30 down to the 29-yard line. That is Jacobs leading the tacklers along with Efley Brooks. And Barry Young, on his first play in the game, he did not start. McCarthy started. But on Young's first play, he picked up 7 yards, 2nd down 3. You see his stats on the screen. He actually averages more per carry than Herschel Walker. This time they give it to Walker. Walker's clean at the 20 and down to the 18, down to the 17.
Right over the official. He was in the way, and Herschel was turning to the goal line, and with all the Kentucky players, I think we can see on a replay coming up, it's a quick hit inside out of the I formation. Walker explodes through the hole here, makes a quick cut to his left, and the official gets caught in the entrapment, and it just knocked bowled right over like a bowling ball, and Herschel picks up the first down at the 17-yard line.
1st and 10 Georgia, and the Dogs are trailing 7-0 late now in the first quarter. Young across the 15 down to the 14-yard line. McVeigh leading the Kentucky tacklers. Barry Young with that tremendous body lean. He stays so low. Warren Gray out of the ball game. He has been injured but has been playing now, which is a welcome sight for the Georgia coaching staff to see that young man who has an awful lot of talent back in the game. 2nd down and 6. Pitch out to Herschel Walker. Walker tripped up at the 12-yard line. McVeigh again, and we hear his name a lot.
6'1", 215-pound sophomore for Miami, Florida, number 93, John McVeigh. It's a quick toss on the sweep outside, and he comes up and shuts it down quickly. Really a fine defensive play by McVeigh.
3rd down and 4. Ball marked at the 12-yard line. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left first quarter. Georgia 3rd down. There's McVeigh.
Power I formation.
They give to the fullback, and he's going to be short of the first down. McCarthy, or rather Barry Young, they had to. Now it is McCarthy, the ball carrier. He was short of the first down at the 10. It'll be 4th down. And about 2 yards to go. That'll bring on Kevin Butler as Vince Dooley elects to go for the 3-point attempt. Butler will place it at the 16-yard line for a 26-yard attempt by Kevin Butler. Minute 18 left in this first quarter as you watch it, and you will see if it's good or not, and it is. Kevin Butler from 26 yards has just put the Dogs on the scoreboard. A minute and 10 seconds left. Kentucky leading Georgia by the score of 7-3. Kentucky looking for its first victory of the season. Georgia, of course, unbeaten, ranked 3rd in the nation. Kevin Butler, number 5, has just put the Dogs on the board.
You know, all week long prior to a game like this, you've got Kentucky 0-5-1, Georgia 6-0, and everybody's saying, well, on paper, Georgia should win. Unfortunately, you don't play the games on paper, and that's why they turn the clock on Saturday night and give everybody a chance to suit it up and get dressed out and play hard, and that's exactly what's gone here. Kentucky's been very impressive in the first quarter tonight.
Butler will kick it off to either George Adams or Terry Henry. And this one sails to Adams at the 1-yard line. Adams at the 20. He's got speed. Adams 50. Adams into Georgia territory at the 43-yard line. Number 33, George Adams, has just returned it to the Bulldog. Now they mark it the Bulldog 42-yard line.
Adams takes it on the right side of the field, looks for the wall on the left, and watch it as they set it up. They did an outstanding job with the special team. Got good blocking out in front. Sanchez did a good job of turning the player back in for Georgia to catch up.
Here's the pitch out to Choo-Choo Lee. Lee is going to be dropped back around the 45-yard line. Stan Dooley and Tommy Thurston leading the Dogs on Choo-Choo Lee. This year he's only averaging about, what, a little over 3 yards to carry. Second down and 11 yards to go as Kentucky comes up leading Georgia 7-3, less than 30 seconds left first quarter. Martin looking. Martin dumps it, and he's got his man at the 40-yard line. That is Joe Phillips, finally brought down by Dooley and Sanchez. But Joe Phillips has a big first down for Kentucky at the 27-yard line as we watch the replay.
Well, Martin went to his left again and threw back across his body, and we see Joe Phillips catch it, number 8, and cuts against the flow, and he really had a lot of daylight until Charlie Dean cut off the angle and turned him back into the pursuit.
That is the end of the first quarter here in Lexington, Kentucky. And the Kentucky Wildcats surprisingly lead Georgia by the score of 7-3.
Think of the biggest sports fans on your Christmas list, and I'll show you the biggest present you can give them. Here it is, a whole year of sports. Week after week of the top magazine in sports, Sports Illustrated, starting with our special year-end issue, and followed by the bowl games, the Super Bowl, the year in sports, plus baseball, basketball, hockey, tennis, boxing. 52 great issues of Sports Illustrated at our special holiday rate of just $29.95. That's over $11 off our regular subscription price. And your shopping couldn't be easier. Just dial toll-free 1-800-525-5800 with the addresses of the people on your list. A gift card will be on its way, and we won't bill you till next year. Sports Illustrated is 62% off the cover price, and the phone call is free. So call 1-800-525-5800. And they'll cheer you once a week for the rest of the year.
Go where you've never been before. Achieve Mitsubishi.
In the Starion, the all-new sports car with Mitsubishi's own turbocharger for blast-off acceleration and the wind-slicing flush surface body design. In the Cordia, the all-new sports coupe with front-wheel drive, a 4+4 transmission available, and a unique liquid crystal display of the Cordia LS.
Go where you've never been before. Achieve Mitsubishi.
In the Tredia, the all-new performance sedan with an MCA jet engine and room for 5.
Achieve Mitsubishi.
In the first turbo diesel pickup in America, only Mitsubishi Motors makes it.
Mitsubishi takes you where you've never been before.
Kentucky Wildcats will start the second quarter, 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 27-yard line. Kentucky leading this football game 7-3. They give it to Choo-Choo Lee, and the Choo-Choo is stopped by Will Forts.
But he had good defensive pressure from Kenneth Sims as he penetrated into the backfield and put the pressure and had to go outside and had good pursuit from the defensive team and knocked him down for a half-a-yard loss.
Second down, 10 and a half. Martin, the quarterback. Martin looking over the middle, incomplete. Knocked away by Jeff Sanchez. Kentucky wants the flag, not going to get it. intended for Rod Mangus. Mangus, the intended receiver. Let's watch it, see what you think.
Got a bootleg series. Martin shows it, rolls opposite, steps up into the pocket and delivers the ball. Watch it. Well, they were both going for the ball down around the 10. Tough decision on the official to make.
Third down, 10.5. Martin over the middle, and he's got his man, Mangus. Mangus stopped by Terry Hogue, but not before he made it down to the 13-yard line. Mangus to the 13, and the first down, Kentucky.
Mangus had drifted out to the side from his tight end position, made a nice first move to get free. He got the ball down the field to pick up the necessary yardage for the first down.
First and 10 at the 13. Kentucky driving now. Choo-Choo Lee is going to be chased, and he gets away. Lee, touchdown. Choo-Choo Lee has just gone 13 yards for the touchdown.
Running the sweep outside. He breaks the containment. He's got excellent speed. Watch him turn the corner. Carver had a brief shot at him, but watch him explode to the end zone. Cannot be denied.
That is Lawrence Lee, 5'10 and a half, 186 pounds from Paducah, Kentucky. And he has just put Kentucky on the board with another touchdown. Caudell, the place kicker, in for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Kentucky, with 13 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first half, leads Georgia 14-3.
This Bud's for all the guys who keep the action from getting out of hand.
This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Unemployment is the #1 problem facing our city. In an effort to find employment for more people, the Church Business Jobs Network has been organized and now includes a growing number of Atlanta businesses and churches. If you are unemployed, CBJN may be able to help you find a job. For information, contact your local minister or call the Jobs Center at 581-0385 or call me, Marvin Morgan, at 659-6255.
Georgia's Vince Dooley on the sidelines.
He knew it was a tough place to play at Lexington. He said all week, we never have an easy game in Kentucky. They really hit hard, and they stay after you from the opening whistle to the close of the game.
Well, he's won 15 straight in the SEC. First and 10, Georgia. Lastinger looking to pass, and he's brought down at the 35-yard line.
Scott Schroeder.
Schroeder again making the stop on Lastinger, and that will be a 10-yard loss.
Had a play fake to Herschel, but it did not hold or freeze the Kentucky players, and Schroeder just blitzed right through the line, and he was on Lastinger before he had a chance to cock his arm.
All right, now watch out for Herschel Walker going deep. We saw it on a play a few moments ago. They didn't get the ball to him, but it is a change of pace for Walker. Now they put Walker in motion to the near side, and Lastinger's back to pass. Looking, has Herschel at the 40-yard line. Herschel Walker midfield. Herschel 40, 30. Herschel Walker 20-yard line. Walker goes all the way for the touchdown. Walker on the short pass play goes all the way in for a 64-yard TD. Watch it again.
He was in motion. As we mentioned earlier, he will be in the patterns tonight. Lastinger looked downfield, delivered to Herschel as his secondary. Watch the move here as he dips in and cuts out. Now, there's no one going to catch him here with his great track speed. Down the right sideline, cuts back towards the goal line. 6 points for Georgia.
He even slowed up a little 10 yards in. Walker, with that world-class speed, has just put the Dogs on the board with its first touchdown. Now Kevin Butler kicks the extra point good. And with 9 minutes and 41 seconds left in the half, Kentucky leading Georgia 14-10.
You can beat the $8,600 average price tag on a new car at your nearest Hertz used car sales location. 1981 Ford Escorts from only $44.99. 1981 Ford Fairmonts from only $45.99. Come in today and ask for your Bulldog discount. All cars come with the Hertz limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. All cars selected from the finest in the rental fleet. Call 800-654-3131 for your nearest Hertz sales location.
At the Jack Nicklaus House, a Uniden Extendaphone replaces old-fashioned extension phones.
Barb wants to say goodbye.
Bye, Mom. Hold on. The kids want to say goodbye.
The Extendaphone. It has no cord, so you can take it with you. Carry it anywhere, in or around the house, and you can place or receive calls from anywhere in the world. The Uniden Extendaphone.
It goes with the conversation.
Uniden Extendaphone.
There's Herschel on the sidelines getting the congratulations. You'll see him catching a few more passes coming through. That's 43 touchdowns now. Herschel Walker now leading the Southeastern Conference for career touchdowns, breaking the record of Charles Alexander of LSU.
Well, Georgia needed a play like that to get back into the game. Kentucky obviously had the momentum at that stage of the game. Really were revved up on offense and defense, and you know, you just had a sack by the quarterback. Lastingha maintained his composure, exhibits great leadership. Good call by George Hafner, the offensive coordinator, and Herschel did the rest.
There he is. He says he'd like to catch the football more. He says he'd like to catch it deep more.
You know, for a youngster 6'1", 220 pounds, he's got soft hands. He's awfully strong. And for a youngster that big and strong, it's just very hard to be able to catch the ball and run with it.
Georgia took only 3 plays on that drive. Kevin Butler to kick off. He's got Henry and Adams deep for Kentucky. His last kickoff was returned. This one will not be, as Adams downs it in the end zone, and Georgia, Kentucky will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Turned out to be a pretty good scoring football game here. 14-10, Georgia on the short end of the stick with 9 minutes and 41 seconds left in the first half, and the score maybe not what you would think at this state of the game. Here we go. Doug Martin is number 16. He is the quarterback, and he has Donegan at fullback and Adams at tailback. Now the bootleg. Martin, 20. Martin brought down by Freddie Gilbert, knocked out of bounds after a 2-yard gain.
It's amazing the speed Freddie Gilbert has. He's 6'4", 225 pounds. He was a state Quad A hurdles champion out of Griffin High School, and playing from the defensive end or the defensive tackle, which he is tonight. Martin, I'm sure, had not seen someone of that speed and had a chance to make a good play, and Gilbert just totally took it away from him.
A teammate of Willie Gault up at Tennessee, the world-class sprinter and receiver for the Tennessee Volunteers down in Griffin, Georgia when they were in high school.
But now the shoe's on the other foot. You can see Georgia's got a little enthusiasm on defense after the fine scoring drive, and looks like they're getting more enthusiasm as this quarter goes on.
That was Gilbert and Dooley making the stop on Adams. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 yards to go from the 26-yard line. 3rd and 4 for the Wildcats. Martin looking, pass is complete but short of the 1st down. Complete but down at the 29-yard line is Rod Mangus. Sanchez making the stop on Mangus as we watch it about a yard short.
Martin has thrown the ball well tonight. He came in the game completing about 57% of his passes, and he's been on the mark most of the night. That time he made a cardinal sin, Mangus did. He did not get deep enough to make sure he had the 1st down.
Calhoun is to punt the ball away for Kentucky. Harrell is the deep man. This is a boomer. Harrell back to the 20, back to the 18-yard line where he takes the football. Jimmy Harrell dropped at the 21, 22-yard line. Number 29 in there was Buzz Mears leading the tacklers. Williams also in on the stop, and Georgia will have the football 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. 8:17 left in the first half.
It's the girls against the guys who will take the ball, yeah. Every generation wins when the game is on. Come and taste it. Happy guys.
I've always enjoyed wearing fine clothes, but lately the price of a good suit has gone right through the roof. That's why I'm glad there's a Walton Clothes factory store right here in town. Walton makes first-quality suits, sport coats, and slacks. And now we can save by buying direct from the manufacturer. I've paid a lot for my suits in the past, but not anymore, because now I shop at the Walton Clothes factory store.
In Smyrna, Loganville, Jonesboro, and now in Norcross.
Leading Georgia, 3 minutes, 44 seconds left in the half, and Doug Martin, the quarterback, brings them up. Kentucky deep in its own territory thanks to Broadway's punt. And this is Adams. Adams is tackled, horse-collared by Anthony Flack. Flack makes the stop on Adams right at the line of scrimmage.
That's a big series of downs for Georgia's defensive team and Kentucky's offensive team. Kentucky needs to get a first down and maintain control and get the ball out from the end zone, and Georgia wants to stop them, force the punt, and then go for the field goal or late touchdown.
Second down and 10. This time they give to Donegan, looks like. He gets a couple out to the 4-yard line.
And there's 3 minutes left in the first half.
2 minutes and 54, 53, 52. Third down for Kentucky. Broadway's punt put them way back. And they give to Adams, and he's hit at the 5-yard line. Tim Crow, number 91, there on the bottom.
And Georgia signals for a timeout.
Terry Hogue also in on the stop. Georgia calling the timeout. It'll be a 4th down and 6. Jerry Claiborne.
Well, you can see Coach Claiborne wanted that at the time. Obviously, the back must have hit the wrong hole. Had a chance to get outside and get the first down and let them maintain possession.
Calhoun will punt it away with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left in this second quarter of play. Jimmy Harold, who's looked good in the last 3-4 weeks, returning punts for Georgia, standing back at his own 46-yard line. Two minutes, 33 seconds left.
One of the assistant coaches is encouraging Kentucky, said they need the turnover. Of course, they're hoping for a muff fielding chance on the punt.
He gets it away. Harrell comes up to receive it at the 47-yard line. Jimmy Harrell trying to split the defenders, and he goes to the 40-yard line, and he's knocked down there. Stop by Buzz Mears. Mears making the stop. Georgia's got the first down at the 40-yard line of Kentucky with 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in this first half. Kentucky leading Georgia 14-10. John Lastinger brings Georgia up late in the first half. The Dogs looking to the air, and he's got Herschel Walker at the 35, and it's dropped, incomplete. McClellan defending on the play for Kentucky.
Yeah, let's watch McClellan for Kentucky. He reads Herschel coming out of the backfield, plays a good defensive technique, and steps inside and strips the ball, as you can see right there, and almost made the interception for Kentucky. Fine defensive play by McClellan.
Georgia looking to get something on the board here late in the first half. Second down and 10. The give is to Walker. Walker to the 38-yard line, but nothing more. Cam Jacobs leading the Kentucky tacklers. Now they give Walker only a yard to the 39-yard line. Third down and 9. Minute 53, minute 52 left on the scoreboard clock in the first half. McCarthy's at fullback. The tailback is Walker. Lastinger looking across the middle. He's got his man at the 17-yard line, at the 22-yard line, I'm sorry, and that's Kevin Harris. Kevin Harris, first down Georgia at the 22-yard line.
Just a straight drop back by Lastinger. You had a drag by the end. Harris comes right into the post area on a deep curl. Really good concentration as he looked it in his hands and went down at the 24-yard line.
1st and 10, Georgia now late, and they pitch to Walker. Markers on the play as Walker driving at the 15-yard line. Markers on the play as Herschel went to the 15-yard line before he was knocked down.
It's probably against Georgia. It was thrown into the offensive line.
Don Rowe making the stop. Andy Malls also in on the stop. McClellan there too. But the penalty will be against Georgia. Holding against the Bulldogs. Holding against Georgia. They'll mark it back to the 35-yard line. The 35-yard line, Georgia. 1st down and 21 yards to go. 1st down and 21 yards to go. The ball is marked just the other side of the 35-yard line. 1 minute and 4 seconds left, 1st half. Lastinger looking deep for Chuck Jones, and it is overthrown at the 4. Overthrown at the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and long. Williams and Malls covering on the play. 18 is Andy Malls, all Southeastern Conference.
He's already had 1 interception tonight. He stopped one of Georgia's drives at the 5-yard line, and that time he had good coverage on Jones. Jones had come down over the middle and then run a flag route. Difficult pass to complete in that situation, but really a good try on his part.
Less than a minute left in the 1st half. Georgia driving on Kentucky at the 35-yard line. 2nd and 22. Lastinger hit as he threw the football. Let's see if they ruled it a fumble or an incomplete. It is a fumble, and Kentucky has recovered. Fumble, and Davy Lyons comes up with a big turnover. Kentucky will have the football.
Don Rowe, number 44, makes the play on Lastinger as he's gone back. Dropping, looking deep. Watch Rowe come from the outside and really popped him on a lookout play. Ball's loose, and Lyons gets down on it for Kentucky.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the 37-yard line with 46 seconds left in this 1st half. Martin looking, and now he runs it out of bounds to stop the clock. Picked up a yard on the play. Martin run out of bounds. Tommy Thurston forcing him to that sideline. 39 seconds left in the 1st half. 2nd down and 9 yards to go, or now they say he stepped out before he got to that line marker. It'll be 2nd down and 11. 38 seconds left in the half. Kentucky on its own 37-yard line, leading Georgia 14-10. Martin got his man at the 45-yard line. That is complete to Mangus again. Mangus has looked good, Butch.
Oh, he's done a good job. He's running good routes. He's lined up at the tight end position, and he's just coming out on an out that time. Martin has shown a great ability to scramble and also to deliver the ball to the receiver at the moment he's open.
3rd down and 3. Martin has Mangus, and it's dropped at midfield. Mangus just over 6'2", 220 pounds. The intended receiver on the play. It'll bring up 4th and 3 yards to go with 25 seconds left. Kentucky forced to punt. Calhoun in to kick it away. And Harrell. Now they send Sanchez back in a short formation. Calhoun to kick it away, and he kicks it off the side of his foot. And it will be down. Now he gets a good roll. Look at that roll to the 17-yard line. 14 seconds left on the scoreboard clock in the 1st half. Georgia getting the football now at the 18-yard line is where the football will be marked. Kentucky 14-10 on the Dogs as Lastinger comes into the football game. Little time on the clock. Georgia 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line. 14 seconds left as they give to Herschel Walker. Walker breaks free and out to the 28-yard line. He's dropped there by Davy Lyons. Also on the stop, Andy Malls. 1 second. That's it for the first half of play, and Kentucky leaves this field leading the third-ranked Georgia Bulldogs by the score of 14-10. We'll be back with halftime comments in just a moment.
Think of the biggest sports fans on your Christmas list, and I'll show you the biggest present you can give them. Here it is, a whole year of sports. Week after week of the top magazine in sports, Sports Illustrated, starting with our special year-end issue, and followed by the bowl games, the Super Bowl, the year in sports, plus baseball, basketball, hockey, tennis, boxing. 52 great issues of Sports Illustrated at our special holiday rate of just $29.95. That's over $11 off our regular subscription price. And your shopping couldn't be easier. Just dial toll-free 1-800-525-5800 with the addresses of the people on your list. A gift card will be on its way, and we won't bill you till next year. Sports Illustrated is 62% off the cover price, and the phone call is free. So call 1-800-525-5800, and they'll cheer you once a week for the rest of the year.
Georgia's 6th District deserves a strong, stable congressman who will not forget who elected him to office. Jim Wood is that man. Jim Wood has 28 years of happy family life, 25 years of church and community service, 35 years of business experience, and 3 terms in the legislature. Jim is aware of the needs of the 6th District. Elect a conservative Democrat, Jim Wood, to Congress. He will represent you in Washington.
If you're one of the 16 million Americans who are night workers or just like to stay up late or get up early, don't get left in the dark. Night Watch, an innovative new show just for you from CBS on TV5 with Christopher Glenn, Felicia Jeter, Karen Stone, and Harold Dow, bringing you the latest news from around the world, live interviews with newsmakers, the latest sports, and timely features. All that and more on CBS News Night Watch, Monday through Friday mornings at 2 on TV5.
A surprise here at Commonwealth Stadium at halftime. The Kentucky Wildcats, who have not won a game this season, leading the third-ranked Georgia Bulldogs by the score of 14-10. Georgia's Vince Dooley knew coming in that it's always tough here in Kentucky, and the Bulldogs have a tough one on their hands this evening. Kentucky coming out very quickly and dominating the line of scrimmage and driving right down for an early score on the Dogs, and it is now at halftime the score 14-10, Kentucky leading. Butch Clifton, what are your thoughts on this first half of play?
Well, Bill, obviously it was a case of an outmanned Kentucky team coming out ready to play, gaining the upper hand, and right now they have their confidence, and Georgia really has their backs to the wall in the fact that now they have to get momentum back on their side and display more enthusiasm to start the second half.
All right, we'll be back with the start of the second half right after this.
You can beat the $8,600 average price tag on a new car at your nearest Hertz used car sales location. 1981 Ford Escorts from only $44.99. 1981 Ford Fairmonts from only $45.99. Come in today and ask for your Bulldog discount. All cars come with the Hertz limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. All cars selected from the finest in the rental fleet. Call 800-654-3131 for your nearest Hertz sales location.
Hey, Tiger, if you want to go the distance, you need really tough paws. Uniroyal's new all-weather Tiger Paw Plus. A whole new breed of Tiger Paw. It gets a grip on that road and just eats up the miles. In fact, tests show that Tiger Paw Plus projects an average of 20% more mileage than Michelin X. Tiger Paw Plus. It laughs at the weather and keeps right on roaring. For mile after mile and more. Uniroyal. We give you more to go on.
See my 1983 Toyota Corolla.
Hey, look
looks the same as last year.
But it's not.
The new 1983 Corolla may look the same as last year.
But it's not.
The 83 Corolla has a new engine that's lighter and gets 18% better gas mileage. And a new suspension that rides real smooth.
And look, that's a fabulous new interior.
The new 1983 Toyota Corolla. It looks the same.
But it's not.
15 minutes showing on the clock to start the third quarter of play. As you see, the Georgia Bulldogs on the sidelines getting ready, getting warmed up at a cold Commonwealth Stadium in Lexington, Kentucky. The Kentucky Wildcats have something to cheer about. They lead the third-ranked Georgia Bulldogs by the score of 14-10.
And you could see the fans as Kentucky left the field at halftime. They gave them a standing ovation. They're sensing an upset. The fans are all involved for Kentucky, and like we mentioned earlier, Georgia really needs to buckle up their chin straps and get ready to play the second half.
Well, it's a tough one, as it always is in Kentucky. Georgia will receive the third quarter kickoff. Keith Montgomery, Carney Norris are back deep for the Dogs. Caudell will kick off for Kentucky. Kentucky Wildcats leading 14-10. Chris Caudell to kick it away. And he booms this one. Montgomery 8 yards deep. He will not run it out. Georgia will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Keith Montgomery, the freshman from Stevens County, Georgia. And now Georgia 1st and 10. John Lastinger, the quarterback. Herschel Walker had about, 60, yes, he had 62 yards in that first half running the football. He had a long pass reception, however, a 64-yard touchdown pass reception. Now they put Walker in motion. Lastinger gives it to the fullback, Chris McCarthy. McCarthy out to the 24-yard line.
I think Kentucky's philosophy is basically this. Walker will not get anything up the middle. They've really jammed it in, and that wide tackle 6 is a true 8-man front. They're just not giving much. That time the defense had shifted or keyed on Herschel being in motion. McCarthy found a seam and was able to get 5 yards on the first down play.
2nd down and 5. Lastinger 108 yards, but only 4 completions out of 13 attempts. This time Lastinger keeps, and he's got the first down. Dave Lyons making the stop, but Lastinger on the keeper has picked up the first down just over the 30-yard line.
A lot of the Georgia fans were asking the question this week, why doesn't Georgia run the option more? Very simple answer. If you run the option a lot, the defense dictates who's going to carry the ball. They will go with the pitch and not allow it to be pitched to Walker and put the pressure on Lastinger to run it.
This time they pitch it to Walker. Walker looking for a hole, and he's across the 45 and up to the 48-yard line before Effley Brooks makes the stop on him.
A 17-yard pickup that time for Herschel, and it was off the power sweep. See if we got a replay coming, and we can see it. Lastinger just turns and pitches. Watch your block by McCarthy coming out. Nice, good cut by Herschel. He's behind, finds a gap and explodes here and picks up the 8 or 9 extra yards to give him a total of 17 on the carry.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line for Georgia. McCarthy, the fullback, Walker, the tailback, and they give to Herschel Walker across midfield and into Wildcat territory at the 46. Martin and Baird, along with Andy Malls, in on the stop. It'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go as Walker picked up 5. Look for Walker in the passing lanes this third quarter. And remember, Kentucky leading Georgia now 14-10. McCarthy, the fullback. Chris McCarthy down to the 36-yard line. Malls and Baird, the 2 defensive backs, coming up to make the stop. McCarthy gives Georgia 1st down at the 36, and this drive started at the 20.
And you can feel the presence of Herschel Walker on the offensive team. That time he moved hard to his left. The defense keyed. McCarthy was straight up the middle on a direct handoff and was able to pick up the 1st down yardage.
1st and 10, Georgia. Pitch out to Walker. McCarthy blocking on the corner, but number 44 Don Rowe made one heck of a play. He fought off McCarthy, the blocker, and then pulled down Herschel Walker for a loss.
Well, let's watch it's a kick-out block by McCarthy. It's his job to kick out on the end, and Herschel has to cut up. This time he starts up. Rowe is knocked into his path, maintains his feet, and knocks Herschel down for a 2-yard loss. Fine defensive play by Rowe.
2nd down and 12. Don Rowe making the stop there as they fake it to Walker, and Lastinger looking to the sidelines and has his man and out of bounds at the 26-yard line goes Kevin Harris. Kevin Harris out of bounds, close to the first down. The officials will take a long look at it.
You've got Kay right down the middle on a post route. Lastinger has used his play fake, and he throws a deep out to Harris, knows where the first down yardage is, and if you look on your screen, you can see the red tape marking it across the field. And now we have the chain gang coming in to measure and see if indeed it is a first down.
Close to it. And they stretch it. And again, it's in inches. And again, barely a first down. The second one like that tonight. First down, Georgia at the 26-yard line. And the Dogs opening up with a long drive. One of those that all coaches love to see when you come out in the third quarter.
Coach Charlie Whittemore has done an outstanding job with his receiving corps of getting them to be aware, to have the total concentration to know where the first down marker is, always running enough yardage to get that.
Barry Young now in at fullback. They give to Herschel Walker, and he cracks across the 25 down to the 24-yard line before John Grimsley makes the stop. Kerry Baird also in on the stop.
We can see Grimsley early. He comes up and really smacks Herschel down. He played off the block well, had a good lick. Watch Grimsley there as he hits him, and Herschel with his power spins forward and picks up a yard.
2nd down and 9 yards to go, just inside the 25-yard line of Kentucky. Lastinger looks for Harris. He's got him at the 16-yard line. Looks to be a little short of the first down. Tom Petty coming up to make the stop on number 20, Kevin Harris. And Georgia will be close.
Well, that was another out. It's a deep out. Lastinger has to run to his left and throw back across his body. It was a timing route, and the ball was in the air before Harris made his cut. Hit him right in the numbers. Once again, it's third and a very short amount of yardage for the first down.
Jerry Claiborne watching the Dogs come out against his Kentucky Wildcats and looking awfully strong. Georgia is on this opening drive with just over 11 minutes left in the third quarter. Third down conversions. Georgia hitting on a third of them, and here's another one. And Lastinger keeps, and he's got the first down.
Excuse me, Bill. That's the first time we've seen that wrinkle this year. You had motion to the right by McCarthy. You had a dive up the middle by Young. Herschel went wide to his left, and all Lastinger did was kept it on the option and picked up the first down. Very nifty play.
1st and 10, Georgia at the 14-yard line of Kentucky. The Dogs on a drive now with 10 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Taking the opening kickoff now, they put Harris in motion. They give to Walker, and he ducks in at the 13-yard line.
Still has trouble up the middle.
McClellan and Brooks stopping Walker at the 13.
Grimsley's coming off the field for Kentucky. He's been just a tremendous linebacker player tonight for Kentucky, and he looks like he's holding his right shoulder. They'll miss his presence on the field.
2nd down and a long 8 yards to go. Lastinger has a man in motion. That is Harris. And he follows his fullback and goes down to the 7-yard line.
Lastinger really ran with authority that time, Bill. He had a fake up inside. Herschel was the trail on the option pitch. The defensive player went with Herschel, made Lastinger run it, and he ran it very aggressively down to the 8-yard line.
You know, he's running like a quarterback of old for Georgia, a man named Kirby Moore, who about as good a running quarterback as Georgia's had, and he's at the game tonight.
Well, he's an attorney in Warner Robins and on the athletic board. Nice to see Kirby before the game.
3rd down and 4. Lastinger looking into the end zone. He's got his man. Touchdown. Touchdown pass to Norris Brown in the end zone. And that is touchdown pass number 2 for John Lastinger. This one goes 8 yards for the TD, and Georgia, for the first time tonight, is on top of Kentucky.
Let's watch Lastinger maintain his composure. 3rd and 4, a lot of pressure. Got pressure coming on the backside. He waits, delivers as soon as Norris Brown comes open. Brown had run a good route, got in the seam. Lastinger delivered it. A big touchdown pass for Georgia.
Georgia taking that opening drive and going all the way. Kevin Butler is going to seal it with the extra point. And with 9 minutes and 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, Georgia leading Kentucky 17-14.
This Bud's for all the guys who keep the action from getting out of hand.
This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Are you 60 or older, or know someone who is? Do you have questions about services for the elderly? The Aging Connection has trained information and referral specialists located in each of the 7 metro Atlanta counties who will help senior citizens find answers to their questions and locate the services that they need. Call the Aging Connection at 656-4000.
That drive took 5 minutes and 50 seconds, 80 yards, 13 plays.
And Georgia's offense did what they had to do, as we mentioned at halftime. Come out and show you have some enthusiasm, buckle them up, and get after the other team. And that time they did. The special teams was aroused, and here we are back to action.
Adams, Dooley grabs him around the 14-yard line. Brady Gilbert also there, along with Stan Dooley. Dooley and Adams having some words as they get up off the pile. 3-yard pickup by Mr. Adams, and it'll be 2nd down and 7 at the 15-yard line. Colder now here at Commonwealth Stadium, maybe into the upper 30s at this point. Adams got a hole, and he's up to the 21-yard line. Tommy Thurston, the linebacker, coming over to make the stop. Anthony Flack, the defensive back, came up, and they're definitely having words off that pile.
That's a tough play to defense against. It's an isolation play where the lead back is the fullback who acts as a guard. He blocks down the linebacker. Adams is deep enough in the I formation that he can read, and once he sees it, he's got the speed to explode through. He's a fine running back.
3rd down and 2 at the 21-yard line. Power I formation for Kentucky. Adams has the football and the 1st down.
And Kentucky's offense responds. They were in a hole. They had to get it out. They're in a power I formation, as we see. Hand off back to Adams, and he just pops in there. Good offensive line blocking that time.
Look at him drive, Flack. He drove Anthony Flack back a couple of yards, got the 1st down at the 25-yard line. In the trenches, the warfare starts right here. Here's the pitch to Adams. Adams hit at the 27-yard line. That's Brady Gilbert. And Stan Dooley, you are not seeing number 87 for Georgia tonight. Jimmy Payne back home with an injury. 2nd down and 7 after that 3-yard gain.
That's put Freddie Gilbert at defensive end, and he's not used to playing that. He has a different technique, but he's giving it his best shot as usual.
Doug Martin. And he lofts it over here, incomplete. It was intended for Sean Donegan, but incomplete. And Kentucky is looking at a 3rd down and long yardage. 3rd and long for the Wildcats, and they're trailing Georgia by 3. Look at the comparison. It's pretty good. Adams, 77 yards. Herschel Walker, 84 yards with 7 minutes, 13 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Big 3rd down play. They give it to Adams. He is stopped near the line of scrimmage, maybe a couple of yards. Tim Crow making the initial hit on George Adams. 4th and About 5 yards to go. The punting team comes in. That means Calhoun will punt it away for the Wildcats, and Jimmy Harrell back deep for Georgia. Take a look at him. Number 26 is Calhoun. Paul Calhoun, averaging 39.8. He's had a good 53-yarder earlier. And this one's end over end. Harrell comes up to the 36-yard line. Dropped by one man, but he stays up and gets a couple of more yards. Harrell moved it back up to the 39-yard line, and he is stopped there, and Georgia will take over. Kerry Baird and Ben Williams making the stop. Harrell gives Georgia good field position at the 39-yard line. Dogs on top of Kentucky 17-14, 6:32 left, third quarter. Walker, the lone back. Now Lastinger going to keep the football, goes up to the 41-yard line. Lastinger is stopped by Effley Brooks and John McVeigh.
He read the defense that time. Kentucky's defensive back came up and took the quick screen away. John had to turn and get what he could get. Picked up about a half a yard, Bill.
Second down and 9 yards to go. Georgia bench on its feet. They're in a fight here at Lexington, Kentucky.
Well, anytime the cats and dogs get together, it's going to be a fight.
And off to Walker. Walker across the 45 to the 46-yard line before Scott Schroeder made the stop on him. Herschel Walker, now they mark him back at the 45-yard line. It'll be third down and 4 for the Dogs. Third down and 4 for Georgia. 5:33 and it counts down. Left in the third quarter. Georgia came out in the opening moments of the third quarter and drove 80 yards. Lastinger under a lot of pressure. Lastinger looking now. He throws it deep to Wisham. He's got him at the 36-yard line.
Boy, Lastinger showed his versatility that time, Bill. He had tremendous pressure coming from his left side. Let's see if we can't pick it up. Watch the pressure come from the left. This may be the best plays made this year. Maintains his balance, running out of time, and fires the ball down to Jamie Wisham. That's the first catch as a Georgia receiver, a walk-on player from Moultrie, Georgia, Colquitt County High School.
Big play for number 6 and his quarterback, John Lastinger, and Georgia's got the football first and 10 at the 35-yard line. Just over 5 minutes are left, third quarter. Dogs in the I formation. They give it to Barry Young, the fullback, and he fights his way for 4 yards. John McVeigh making the stop on him. Barry Young, who did not start the football game, picked up 3 yards, second down and 7. Young and McCarthy both have seen a lot of action, probably equal amount of time in there, Butch.
Well, it's good you have two fullbacks that can share the load. They're both outstanding blockers, and they've carried the ball extremely well to take the pressure off Herschel Walker.
Lastinger looks, incomplete, overthrows his man Kevin Harris around the 31. Brian Williams defending on the play. And it'll bring up the third down and 7. Georgia scored on its first possession of the second half, and this is the second possession. Vince Dooley liked what he saw there in that early moments of this quarter, and he's watching a drive now that's come to a third down and 7. Jerry Claiborne hoping that the Wildcats can stop him. Walker in motion, Lastinger looking, and he throws out to Herschel Walker. He's going to be stopped short of the first down. Walker stopped about 1.5 yards short of the first down by Buzz Mears.
Let's watch the defensive play. We talk about Herschel Walker. We know what he can do. He's a Superman in essence. He catches it. And watch the play here by Kentucky's defensive back as he comes up. Really makes a fine one-on-one open field tackle and denies Herschel from getting the first down. Lastinger calls a timeout for Georgia.
That was Buzz Mears, and he did a job one-on-one on Mr. Walker, and it'll bring up a fourth down and 2 yards to go. Georgia on the 27-yard line of Kentucky with a timeout. 4 minutes and 2 seconds left, third quarter. Been stopped on the drive. And let's see, they've got the kicking team in. Kevin Butler will try a long field goal. This will be about a 43 or 4-yard attempt. We will see where Kevin puts it down.
Well, he's kicked one tonight, and he's currently 8 out of 11 on his field goal attempts with the long kick against Ole Miss of 59 yards that Mark Womack, the crack member of the Southeastern Conference Commissioner's Office, came in and made the ruling to make sure that, you know, everybody knew that it had to touch.
Kevin Butler in to attempt the field goal. It will be from the 34-yard line, a 44-yard attempt. The kick is up, and it is no good. Butler has missed the 44-yard attempt. Kentucky has held Georgia, and with 3 minutes and 55 seconds left in the third quarter, the Dogs continue to lead the Wildcats 17-14.
Can beat the $8,600 average price tag on a new car at your nearest Hertz used car sales location. 1981 Ford Escorts from only $44.99. 1981 Ford Fairmonts from only $45.99. Come in today and ask for your Bulldog discount. All cars come with the Hertz limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. All cars selected from the finest in the rental fleet. Call 800-654-3131 for your nearest Hertz sales location.
Long ago, the elegance of German engineering. Today, the excitement of German engineering. The Audi 5000 Turbo, exhilarating luxury. The Audi GT Coupe, advanced aerodynamic styling. The Audi 4000, exciting performance and handling. High performance, German technology. From Audi, the art of engineering.
Kentucky now with the football, 1st and 10 at its own 27-yard line. That is Adams and his wrestle down near the line of scrimmage. Stan Dooley was one man there.
And we've got a flag.
The other, a flag on the play.
And you watch the swarming defense by Georgia. They are fired up at this moment. They come in. Adams can't go up the middle, and he veers outside, and they just really pursued, led by Stan Dooley and Terry Hogue.
Marker on the play, and they are discussing it with Georgia. It looks to be against Kentucky.
Well, they threw it in that same vicinity where it was probably offensive holding or illegal use of the hands, and in this situation it would be a 10-yard penalty. The question is, since he did not gain any yardage at all on 1st down, will Georgia take it or make it a 2nd and 10, or will they take the penalty?
They're going to mark it back, going to penalize them. 10 yards.
Kentucky.
It'll be 1st and 20 from the 17-yard line. 1st and 20, Kentucky. 3 minutes, 34 seconds left as Kentucky looks at a 1st and 20. Lastinger and Martin, you see the comparisons in the stats as Martin throws the football complete and out of bounds. Out of bounds near the 24-yard line. Dale Carver making the stop for Georgia. The pass was to Mangus again. There's Kevin Harris. Now Jerry Claiborne of Kentucky.
Well, he likes what he saw that time, Bill. It was a safe pass, a safe route. They didn't try and pick up all the yardage on the 2nd and 20. However, they did pick up 7.
Now 2nd down, 13. Pass is complete and dropped. That's Joe Phillips, and he's dropped by Anthony Flack. A couple of number 8s. That will bring up a 3rd down, and about 8 yards to go for Kentucky at its own 30-yard line. The ball resting just shy of the 30-yard line. 2 minutes, 54 seconds are left in the third quarter. Martin looking way over his receiver's head, and Georgia has forced a punting situation. Well, that was pass intended for George Adams.
Well, it was a good read by Martin. He saw Kevin Harris coming up hard from his defensive secondary position, and he had taken the passing lane. If he had not thrown it away, it would have been 6 points for Georgia.
4th down and 8 yards to go. Calhoun is in to punt. Harrell is back deep for Georgia, standing around his own 27-yard line. Calhoun gets this one away to the 27. Harrell has got some room. He's across midfield down to the 47-yard line. Jimmy Harrell looks like a different person than he was earlier this season.
Well, Billy's able to pick out the gap in the special teams on the opposing team coming down. Let's watch him. It's a line drive. It is returnable. He looks it in his hands, and now watch him start with a stutter and explode through the gap. Got a nice block, refused to come down, had a chance to break it right here. A fine saving tackle by the Kentucky player, number 35, Ben Johnson.
Dogs with a 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Chris McCarthy, the fullback. McCarthy still up, 30-yard line, 29, 28-yard line. And that was where he was brought down by Tom Petty and Kerry Baird.
And Georgia's fullback tandem continues to be impressive. If it's not McCarthy, it's Young. They've continued to play well all year. They've accepted their roles. As we see Coach Bill Lewis, the defensive coordinator for Georgia, he's saying nice job, players. But once again, Georgia's fullbacks have done an outstanding job in their roles.
2 minutes and 10 seconds, third quarter. They gave to McCarthy, and he goes to the 26-yard line. Cam Jacobs making the stop on Chris McCarthy, and that fullback position with McCarthy sometimes and Barry Young the other has picked up a lot of yardage. This is an important drive for the Dogs. They lead by only 3 points with 1 minute 40 seconds left, third quarter. It is 2nd down and 6. The give to McCarthy, and he gets a couple of more yards than he should have. Chris McCarthy, second, third effort. Martin and Malls bringing him down, but McCarthy just would not stop on the first lick.
He's run hard all night. He had 3 carries in the first half for 12 yards. He's had a long run of 17 yards in the second half. And then once again, the intangible that you never see is his vital role with the key blocking to spring Herschel Walker.
All right, watch this, 3rd down and 2. 1 minute left, third quarter. John Lastinger keeps, and Lastinger's got the first down. They've used that play successfully tonight, Butch.
Well, once again, you start keying on number 34, and every time you key on 34, it hurts him because the pitch man went with Walker. It gave Lastinger enough time to make the right decision, and that was to tuck it and fight upfield for the first down.
Number 12, Lastinger's having his best night, 54 yards for Chris McCarthy. But back to Lastinger, the quarterback, he's having his best night yet. 2 touchdown passes. He has run the football well. He gives to Herschel Walker on this play, and look at Herschel go to the 8-yard line.
Go!
Herschel Walker going to the 8-yard line before Petty brought him down.
Well, what can you say? They're out of the I formation. Jones is in motion. Herschel reads, slides, and then explodes. And watch the power. Just refuses to come down. Moles is strong. Comes up, makes a good hit. Herschel refuses to come down.
2nd down and less than a yard to go. 2nd and less than a yard at the 8-yard line. They give to Walker. He's got the first down to the 5-yard line. That is the end of the third quarter as Herschel goes to the 5-yard line, and when we come back, it'll be Georgia leading Kentucky 17-14 to start the fourth period.
Think of the biggest sports fans on your Christmas list, and I'll show you the biggest present you can give them. Here it is, a whole year of sports. Week after week of the top magazine in sports, Sports Illustrated, starting with our special year-end issue, and followed by the bowl games, the Super Bowl, the year in sports, plus baseball, basketball, hockey, tennis, boxing. 52 great issues of Sports Illustrated at our special holiday rate of just $29.95. That's over $11 off our regular subscription price. And your shopping couldn't be easier. Just dial toll-free 1-800-525-5800 with the addresses of the people on your list. A gift card will be on its way, and we won't bill you till next year. Sports Illustrated is 62% off the cover price, and the phone call is free. So call 1-800-525-5800, and they'll cheer you once a week for the rest of the year.
If you're one of the 16 million Americans who are night workers or just like to stay up late or get up early, don't get left in the dark. Night Watch, an innovative new show just for you from CBS on TV5 with Christopher Glenn, Felicia Jeter, Karen Stone, and Harold Dow, bringing you the latest news from around the world, live interviews with newsmakers, the latest sports, and timely features. All that and more on CBS News Night Watch, Monday through Friday mornings at 2 on TV5.
Unlike my dog Sponge here, there are thousands of animals who will never know what it's like to eat T-bone steak, attend a Braves game, or even wear a Gucci collar. For those less fortunate, there will be a musical benefit for Life for God's Free Animals, a private organization which cares for homeless animals around Atlanta. Please be with us for this evening of fun and music on Sunday, November the 7th. It's a theatrical paraphernalia on 10th Street to benefit Life for God's Free Animals. For ticket information, please call 892-7976.
Georgia leading Kentucky 17-14, first and goal at the 6 to open the fourth quarter of play here in Lexington, Kentucky. Bill Hartman and Butch Clifton bringing you the story as Georgia lines up in a power I formation, and John Lastinger keeps the football, gets down to the 3-yard line. That's where he's stopped by John Grimsley. Grimsley had gone out earlier. We thought he might be hurt rather severely, but he's back in the football game now, and he's a good one. Glad he wasn't hurt.
Bill, as our crack spotter Kevin Allman said, Georgia seems to be running more between the guards, something that Kentucky had taken away the first half. I think you can attribute that to the fact that Herschel was able to go in motion, got the defense away from plugging the gap inside, spread them out, and they were able to carry out their offensive blocking assignments a little better.
Second down and 3. Nowhere. Nowhere for Herschel Walker to go as Kevin McClellan, Dave Lyons blocked it up, and it'll be third down. 3 yards to go for the touchdown. A lot of Georgia people up here. One man told me he drove it in about 5 hours and 40 minutes, said he didn't stop.
Yeah, but he was in Louisville when he started.
Said he drove from Atlanta in 5 hours and 40 minutes. Here's Lastinger, touchdown to Chris McCarthy. 3 touchdown passes for John Lastinger.
Well, that was a situation where Kentucky had to come out and play the run. McCarthy was able to go, make a fake like he was going to utilize the kick-out block and spring Herschel. He just released from his block, slid outside. Lastinger had great awareness and put it on him. His 3rd touchdown pass tonight, and that has got to be a confidence builder for the youngster from Valdosta, Georgia.
John Lastinger came into this game, quite frankly, under fire from a lot of places. Some people were looking for Georgia maybe to make a change in quarterbacks, but they didn't. Now Georgia leading Kentucky 24-14 after Kevin Butler puts the extra point through, and with 13 minutes 43 seconds, the Dogs are on top by 10.
This Bud's for all the guys who keep the action from getting out of hand.
This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Richard Simmons is Exercise. The Richard Simmons Show, weekday mornings at 10:30 on TV5.
Georgia cheerleaders here on a cold night. They've got their sweaters on. They've watched Georgia go out front of Kentucky 24-14 early in the fourth quarter. Kevin Butler ready to kick it away. He's got back deep to receive Henry, and now a new man, Joe Phillips. Phillips is number 8, replacing Adams in that kickoff return duo. Butler will kick it away. That is Henry. He is on the near side, which is probably where you'll see this kick go. Let me see if I'm right here. All right, let's say that Butler hooks it a little to the near side and Henry gets it.
He may hook this one out of the end zone with the wind behind him.
Yeah, it is to Henry's side, but it is out of the end zone. There'll be no return. Rolls to the fence, and Butler has kicked them out of the end zone. 1st and 10, Kentucky at the 20-yard line, trailing by 10. That last scoring drive took 3 minutes and 47 seconds, 47 yards, 10 plays. How is that for time-consuming? Lastinger to McCarthy for the touchdown, his 3rd TD pass of the night.
And Jimmy Harrell's punt return gave him ideal field position.
Martin looking, throwing over the middle, and he's got his man at the 45. That pass complete to Rick Massey. Massey taking the football, and Kentucky on the move now as we watch it again.
Well, Martin catches Georgia in the zone coverage. Massey had come down and ran a deep out. He gets in behind, look, behind Harris and in front of Sanchez. Nice throw and a good catch in a critical situation.
Kentucky quickly up to the line of scrimmage. A gift to Adams. He is racked up at the 44. A loss of a yard. Kenny Sims and Thurston leading the tacklers as Georgia stopped him right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard loss on the play.
And Georgia's defensive team is really at a high intensity level. They're giving a peak effort on every play. Really gang tackling. Got more enthusiasm than in the first half.
I'm going to call it no gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. Martin looking for his deep man, incomplete. Sanchez back covering around the 25-yard line. Massey, the intended receiver. Butch, the nation's leading pass intercepting team, Georgia, has intercepted only 1. And Terry Hogue, who has 10, has not pulled any down. But
you've got to give Kentucky's offensive game plan a lot of credit for that. They've thrown the safe pass all night, and Martin has really not tried to force too many plays.
12 minutes, 50 seconds left. 3rd down and 10, and it's intercepted. And as we talk, Freddie Gilbert has got one at the 30, and Gilbert gets more. Freddie Gilbert intercepts and takes it down to the 26-yard line. 2 interceptions now by that Georgia defensive unit.
Well, in the first half, Georgia was burned on this play. Sean Donegan went a long way on the touchdown reception. This time, Freddie Gilbert stays at home, goes back, shows his athletic ability at 6'4", 225. And right here, he's saying, man, just give me just a little daylight, and I'll show you my speed.
He has been playing like an All-American. Number 9, he takes his place on the bench as the offensive team comes in, and Georgia has excellent opportunity here. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line of Kentucky.
And that's Georgia's 27th pass interception this year.
They give to the tailback Herschel Walker, and Herschel stumbles and goes to the 25-yard line. Glenn Amerson made the stop on him. Walker getting a couple of yards at 2nd down and 8. 12 minutes, 20 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Freddie Gilbert from Griffin, Georgia, intercepted that pass to give Georgia great field position. Now the handoff to Barry Young, the fullback, and he's down to the 21-yard line before Efley Brooks makes the stop.
Well, I don't think you can say enough about the job that Freddie Gilbert has done tonight. Jimmy Payne had to stay at home. He's Georgia's all-SEC performer at defensive tackle. Georgia's defensive coordinators had to move Freddie Gilbert to the defensive tackle position, and he has really responded tonight.
They're bundled up here in Commonwealth Stadium. Temperature now down probably around 37 degrees. Lastinger on 3rd down and 4. He's going to go back and look. He's got Simmons, and he drops it at the 14-yard line, incomplete. Lastinger's pass incomplete. It'll bring up a 4th down, and Kevin Butler comes into the football game with 11 minutes and 33 seconds left.
One of the few times this year that Georgia's offensive team has failed to capitalize on a big turnover and get the touchdown. They still have an opportunity to pick up 3 points as Kevin Butler enters the game for Georgia.
Well, he places this one down at the 28-yard line, so we're looking at a 38-yard attempt. He has not looked particularly sharp tonight. He has the wind behind him on this one. Let's see if it pays off. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Kevin Butler puts 3 more on the board, and Georgia now leading Kentucky 27-14 with 11:25 left, 4th quarter.
Pepsi's got it. Pepsi's got your taste. For life, you're the
best-kept secret in Atlanta is on Roswell Road in Sandy Springs. It's Sandy Springs Toyota, the largest Toyota sales and service facility in the Southeast.
I'm Eddie Bostwick, General Sales Manager at Sandy Springs Toyota. We'll beat any advertised deal on a new Toyota car or truck. Not just 40 or sell for less than $5,000. Don't pay high list prices and high dealer prep charges. Come to Sandy Springs Toyota for the deal of your life.
Sandy Springs Toyota for the largest and finest in sales and service.
New quarterback in the game, Randy Jenkins, as Georgia has a 13-point lead on Kentucky. Jenkins now in at quarterback for Kentucky. As time is starting to run low, they give it to Adams. He gets up to the 35-yard line, then knocked back, but he will get about 3-4 yards on the play.
You know,
Herschel Walker, having that shoulder pad repaired, took away the tearaway jerseys after Walker's freshman year.
I think one thing Georgia's defensive team has done well in the second half is they've really separated themselves from the block of the offensive line, and that's easy to say and hard to do, but they've done a real good job of that in the second half.
You saw Jenkins' stats. This time he'll hand off to his fullback, and that is Abraham.
Last year, you know, Jenkins started the game down at in Athens in a 21-0 loss to the Bulldogs, and did not have a particularly good game. And of course, that time Georgia was on a high roll, and Kentucky was having a hard time. But he is a quality back. He's been out most of the week with tonsillitis.
3rd down and 5. 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats. They need to convert here to stay in this football game. Jenkins drills it, got the first down and more. Mangus at the 41-yard line. Mangus gets it to the 41-yard line of Georgia, knocks Culpepper in on the stop, along with Anthony Flack. Watch it.
Jenkins looks real good here. He really delivered a strike to Mangus, who's been the prime receiver all night for Kentucky. He's had an exceptional night. Got the ball where it had to be and got the necessary yardage for the first down. Keeps Kentucky alive at a critical stage in the game.
1st down and 10, Georgia, Kentucky that is, at the Georgia 42-yard line. Jenkins looking, chased. Jenkins still up. Now he shovels the pass to Adams at the 50-yard line. Good effort by the young Jenkins.
Very heady, but very dangerous.
He was chased by Dooley and Sims, and then got rid of it. Still a big loss on the play, but it could have been worse.
I think Jenkins, you know, unless you play a team with great team speed every night, and here you've got an example, Stan Dooley really comes up and just outruns him and makes the play, turns him back inside, contained, and there we've got...
That was Sims.
Kenneth Sims playing another exceptional game tonight.
2nd down and 18 yards to go for Kentucky at the 50-yard line. Jenkins chased again. Still up. Now he's going to throw it up for grabs, and Sanchez is there. Let's see. Yes, it is intercepted.
Sanchez.
Intercepted by Jeff Sanchez, and that is 3 interceptions for Georgia tonight. Sanchez has picked it off at the 11-yard line.
Well, this is one that Jenkins wishes he had back. He's rolling out. He gets pressure again from Crow. Forces him outside. Gilbert applies more pressure, number 9. Now watch him throw across his body, and he really hangs it up about 50 or 60 yards in the air with no zip. Sanchez plays like a good center fielder and intercepts it. That's his 6th interception this year, and Georgia's 28th as a team.
Now that crowd starts to file out as Georgia has the football after the interception. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. They give it to Herschel Walker. Fumble on the play. Fumble on the play. Let's see who has the football. It looks like Georgia has come up with it. Walker fumbles. Kentucky was close to getting the big turnover, but the Dogs have recovered.
Well, Herschel almost breaks it. Somebody reaches in and strips it right there off of his knee, bounds up the field. Who's Johnny on the spot? Herschel Walker, number 34.
Or Winford Hood.
Or, like I said, Winford Hood.
Georgia's got the football on the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. Dogs trying to grind it out now as they have a 13-point lead on Kentucky. Herschel Walker picks up to the 27-yard line. McVeigh making the stop And Don Rowe also in on the stop. There you see the dog bench. A little congratulations going on. It's still plenty of time left, though. 6 minutes are left in this football game. John Lastinger, Butch, has had a good game. 3 touchdown passes.
Well, he came in and had a great second half, and what the fans don't realize is he's totally inexperienced as a quarterback. Had a lot of injuries on the offensive line, and then to Herschel. Just hard to get started like that.
They pitch to Walker. He's across the 30-yard line. Dogs probably going to grind out this clock. 5 minutes and 43 seconds left as Herschel Walker crossed over the 30 to the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 3. But the Dogs willing to let that clock just run down. Herschel Walker has passed Earl Campbell on the all-time rushing list. 4,453 yards. He is in 9th place among NCAA ball carriers. Thanks, David McGrew, for bringing that information up. David McGrew from the Georgia Sports Information Office. McCarthy, the ball carrier on that last play.
Let me share a thought with you here. You know, we talk about the things that Herschel does as far as receiving and rushing and what he means as far as a good team leader. But really, if you think about his total impact and his quest for the Heisman Trophy, since he came to Georgia, they're 28-2, and if the score holds up tonight, they will be 29-2 since his first game at the University of Georgia.
And he is now, after, what, 29 games now? 29 games, I believe. How many games has he got? 20, 30 games. 4 minutes and 58 seconds left as Jim Broadway about to punt it away. 4th and 1 on the 33-yard line. Broadway punts it away. Andy Malls is back deep. Not a good bounce. It is downed on the 31-yard line by Scott Williams.
But he did what he had to do. He made the play at a critical time. Kentucky was in a 10-man rush, obviously trying to block the punt and get good field position.
Georgia leading Kentucky 27-14. 4 minutes, 41 seconds left in this game, and Commonwealth Stadium is starting to empty here in Lexington, Kentucky.
Wow. Some people think a ball player would be lost out of uniform. Don't you believe it. As long as I've got my Levi Garrett with me, I can handle any sport. I think Levi Garrett's the best taste of chewing tobacco I ever tried. And you'll be saying it, too, every time you enjoy that great taste in loose leaf or plug. Whoa! So whether you're pitching a big game or landing big game, get the best taste in chewing tobacco I ever tried. Levi Garrett.
You know, you met Alex, right?
Boy, did she. Well, Ma, I thought it was you when I whipped back the shower curtain and said, surprise!
How old are you going to be on your birthday? Who cares? Besides, my birthday is a long way off. 6 weeks and 3 days.
May the bridal couple always be happy, even at low tide, when the stench from the clams shrinks your navel.
One day at a time, weekdays at 5 on TV5.
2 minutes, 41 seconds left on the scoreboard clock. Kentucky big down, 3rd and 7 at the Georgia 10-yard line. Georgia's Vince Dooley's seen a tough game as he usually gets in Lexington. Right now, he's got the big score on that board, 27-14. Jenkins is the quarterback. Abraham is the fullback. Adams is the tailback. 3rd down. Phillips in motion. Jenkins looking. Jenkins drops it over the middle, and it is knocked away by Harris, and no marker on the play. It'll bring up a 4th down and 7. A close one, Butch.
Yeah, let's watch it on the replay. That time, Kentucky's tight end had slipped down and out. All the motion, if you look at Jenkins, is to the right. Drag route back to the left. Throws it. Harris is coming up, rubbing just a little bit, and gets that free hand right into the passing lane, deflects the ball, and excellent defensive play.
Well, now they look at a 4th and 7 at the 10-yard line, and if you think that last play was big, think of this. 4th and 7 with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left. the running back comparison. Herschel Walker, 123 yards. Adams, the tailback for the Wildcats, 82 yards. Herschel carried 10 more times to get to that 123-yard mark. Jenkins on 4th and 7 at the 10-yard line. Kentucky needing a score. Jenkins looking in trouble and dropped for a big loss, but there are markers
Got a flag.
in the secondary. Markers in the secondary. Let's see. Georgia dropped Jenkins, Gilbert, and Forts.
It's in the defensive secondary. It'll be against Georgia.
Yeah, it's going to be against Georgia, and we'll give Kentucky a first down. Oh, this game is suddenly very tight. 2 minutes, 26 seconds left on the clock. Kentucky will have the football. Dooley has looked at his defensive team. Have big plays before. He'd like to get one here. Only 1 yard to go for the first down. Jenkins looking. Fires it. Is knocked down by Gilbert. Gilbert knocked it down at the line of scrimmage. Georgia will take over the football on 4th and 1, and Kentucky could not convert. Number 90, Gilbert, knocked it down at the line of scrimmage.
He's 6'4", but he plays about 6'9". He's got exceptionally long arms, got great timing, great leaping ability, and that time he was up to swat the ball away. The biggest play in the 4th quarter.
2 minutes and 20 seconds are left. Georgia with a 13-point lead on Kentucky. The Wildcats came out tough in the first half, and Georgia has come back solid in the second half. 1st and 10 Dogs at their own 5-yard line. Sure hands here. They give it to Walker. Walker up to the 7, maybe the 8-yard line for a 3-yard pickup on the play. That was Tom Petty coming up to make the stop, along with Malls.
And Georgia, at this stage, will keep it on the ground. Kentucky cannot stop the clock as they utilize their last timeout.
Minute 58, minute 57 left. 27-14, Georgia leading Kentucky. 2nd down and 7 after Walker picked up 3 yards. The Dogs will let as much of that 25-second clock run down. It is run down to 6 seconds now. The play clock has. Georgia may not get it off. Yes, they do at the last second. Herschel Walker carries the football out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
Well, if he'd had more room to operate, he would have cut it back up. He did not want to get out of bounds and use the sideline to stop the clock.
3rd down and 5 yards to go. The Dogs need a possession here. A big possession down. The pitch to Walker. Herschel Walker breaks clear. Herschel has one man to get him, and he does. And he's dropped at the 31-yard line. Tom Petty had to get him. It was one man or nobody, and that's it. Walker dropped.
Power sweep again. Chris McCarthy was in motion, so you had Young and McCarthy on your lead blocks. Herschel splits the gap. Right here, he's got a chance to go all the way, but give Petty credit. Not many people have knocked him down in the open field under a head of steam.
There you see the story. 1 minute and 18 seconds left on the clock. 1st and 10, Georgia at the 31-yard line, and the crowd starts to leave on a cold night in Kentucky. And Herschel Walker gets the football in a couple of yards. That's McClellan making the stop. Georgia cheerleaders down on a cold field. They got to be freezing. 31-30. Lastinger keeping the football. John Lastinger still up, and he's to the 40-yard line.
And he continues to be effective in the second half. He's thrown the ball well. He's run it well. This is a good confidence builder for John Lastinger.
Well, he just picked up some yardage, but with 12 seconds left on the clock, I'm sure Georgia's going to let it run out. Kentucky cannot stop it, and Vince Dooley will have his 7th victory of the season. No defeats, and I'm sure they'll retain that 3rd ranking in the nation. Georgia has won the football game as the clock runs out. The Dogs are on top by the score of 27-14. We will be back with closing comments right after this.